What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today, I'm going to be talking about my experience at Anime Frontier 2022. Now, before I dive into that, like I said, this is probably, we'll see how things go, but this is more likely going to be more of a shorter episode because your boy is exhausted. But before I get into all that, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Dad Needs to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, and video games. So, man, your boy is tired, but shout out to the homie Gooch. He texted me a few days ago. I was like, yo, bro, you gonna do something about Anime Frontier? And here I am to deliver to my homie, to my bro. So shout out to you, Gooch. But your boy is tired, man. Like that is an understatement. But I am learning to become okay with admitting that I'm tired and kind of pumping the brakes on some stuff, because like I talked about on last episode, going over like the year recap on the Spotify Wrapped thing or whatever, the amount of stuff I've done this year, the amount of stuff I've done in general since I started this podcast March 2021 is honestly staggering in some senses, because I've put out, like I said, between the regular podcast episodes and the reviews and stuff, and heck, even like there's some stuff that I put out that's only on YouTube or whatever. It's like the fact that I've done all of that in this time is wild, even amongst all the different life and family stuff that I've had going on. But it's like I've kind of reached a point to where I know I need to do better by taking care of myself and my health and stuff. And that I know that you awesome listeners and watchers, I know that y'all have shown me so much love and support, that I know that y'all are very understanding, and that, hey, if I gotta take a break or take a step back or slow things down or whatever, that y'all will be cool, because hey, especially if somebody is new coming here or whatever, you got plenty of stuff to go back in the backlog and watch and listen to, this week is it's a gauntlet we are going through. Kids, sports and stuff. My oldest boy, they finally lost a game this week or whatever. But the crazy thing is like, I feel like he definitely didn't play his best, like lazy playing. But even him lazy playing, he still scored 21 points. And so it's like, okay, if you half-assing it, pardon the language, y'all, and you still scored over 20, imagine what you can do if you put more effort into it. Hey, if you chase down those rebounds or more movement and stuff, whatever. But, and shout out to both my daughters. The one that does basketball, she went insane. She had 19 in her game Monday, and they won that one. And then both the girls did fantastic in their cross country meet yesterday. Nay, she got second place overall, and then came up and she got 22nd. So it's very dope to see all of them doing well. And speaking of sports, this weekend, y'all send me all the energy y'all have, thoughts, prayers, whatever you got, send it my way. because dad needs to talk. Dad needs to travel or has to travel. Because my oldest boy, his team has a chance to, we are going to Phoenix, Arizona to play some basketball. And as somebody, as myself, who is from a very small country town where, it's like, oh, hey, in high school, we went down to Houston to play in a tournament. And that was big for me back then, because I didn't get all of this. I didn't start playing sports until 7th grade. And then, even with little travel we did, it was pretty, not that far or whatever. But it's like, my oldest three, they're 13 and 14. And it's like, but we've already been doing sports for 7 years at this point. They were 5 and 6 when they started. And the fact that now we're about to start doing, like we've done like some short travel, like we went to Kansas one time a few years ago. Of course, we're going down to Houston and stuff, whatever. But this is like the next level, next phase of this stuff where we're about to start going nationwide travel, which is just insane to think about. It's like, don't know where this might lead for any of my kids and stuff, but I'm gonna be there. Me and my wife, we will with as much energy as we have left, raise up our pom poms, cheering from the bleachers, from the stands, from the sidelines, whatever the case may be. As long as they continue on this journey or whatever, we will be right there with them every step of the way. Providing that support, both financially and emotionally, for them and stuff, whatever. So just because, growing up, my mom got to come to a few of my events and stuff, whatever, but a mix between health stuff, and we didn't have a car growing up, so she didn't get to come to everything or as much stuff as she would have liked to. But I know every time I came home from a cross country meet on Saturdays, or every night when I came home from a game, she was there waiting for me with a nice warm plate of food and be like, hey, so how'd it go? How was the game? How was the meet? And, walk in the house with my medals from cross country, or talk about the basketball game and stuff, whatever. So I did still have that support. And so that's why it's like I want to, even though it is very tiring and very exhausting, because I am fortunate enough to be in a position, both with my job, with having flexibility to kind of like come and go and adjust my schedule as I need to, whatever. Because it's like, okay, my daughters have a cross country meet, so it's freaking 4:00. Well, my job is freaking 30-40 minutes away, so that means I need to leave with enough time to get to, especially because the cross country meets each week is in a different spot in the area. So it's not like every week I'm going to the same spot. It's like, okay, where is it at this week? Okay, it's over here. All right, it's down there. So having that flexibility, and then like I said, like the promotion and stuff I got at work, having that other flexibility and stuff as well, to where things aren't 100% like where I would like them to be, but they are way better than where they were before, and way better than I know some people in general are, because like I said, I know what it's like to want to have family, friends, some type of support there in the crowd cheering you on. And so it's like no matter, it's like, hey, yeah, we're tired, but I can nap and sleep in between practices, or after the game or whatever. So I'll kind of power through and muscle through for the kids and stuff. Because like I said, this moments like this aren't forever, and in so many aspects or whatever. Because like I said, it's at any moment or whatever, either they could just decide, you know what, we don't want to do this no more, or heaven forbid, somebody gets hurt and they can't do sports no more, or something happens to me and I can't make it out to the events and stuff no more. So it's like, okay, while I am able-bodied enough and they are doing stuff, whatever, I'm gonna do my best to show up and cheer them on. And so, yeah, so that was a long way of saying, yeah, we're about to start doing all this traveling and stuff. And with that being said, with the podcast and stuff, and all the stuff I'm doing, I'll just say I am in the planning phase, and I've been reaching out to people, setting stuff up for start of the year or whatever. And I even have some stuff I'm cooking up for to wrap up this year. But more than likely, I'm probably not going to do any more podcast episodes for a couple of weeks, just so I can kind of get this traveling and all this stuff we got going on situated and stuff. So, but I think at this point I am kind of at least like for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna do more of a do and show type with the podcast and the content that I'm doing, just because I'm personally frustrated with myself, and I don't like making promises to y'all listeners and watchers on certain things, because while I do understand that most of y'all are understanding when it's like, oh hey, when I say, hey, I'm planning on doing this, 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 and this, and this, and then it's like, well, Robert, you ain't done none of it, or you've only done a piece of it or whatever. And so it's like, instead of, me making these, overextending myself to these commitments and stuff, whatever, I'd rather just work behind the scenes, put the content out, and y'all see stuff when y'all see it as it comes along. But I don't think I'm gonna be going back to the normal weekly episodes and stuff, whatever. Which, like I said, I think I probably touched on this a little bit last week, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But I'm probably not gonna go back to doing at least like not the weekly, timely stuff, whatever. But there might be stretches where something is coming out every week, but that doesn't mean that it's current time Robert. Especially when I'm start doing these interviews and stuff, whatever, because that is something that can give me flexibility along the way, to where certain interviews and discussions I want to have with people, those are kind of like evergreen discussions, to where they are not time sensitive, so I can record those, sit on them, and then it's like, man, I'm tired, I can't record this week. Oh, I got this awesome interview or discussion. Boom, there y'all go. But I will say, like I said, I have some thoughts and ideas and things I am cooking up in the background. Guests I am getting lined up for the foreseeable future. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have a very awesome, dope list of people. That it might take some months, it might even take some years to get to some of these people. But all the same, I just hope that y'all will continue to stick by me, and that y'all look forward to the dope things I have coming for y'all in the future. And I will say, for the audio stuff, of course, I should be on all audio platforms: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Pandora, wherever you listen to podcasts and stuff, whatever audio, I'm there. And then for video, I highly encourage y'all, even if you don't watch the video version of the podcast or whatever, I would still greatly appreciate if y'all do at least just hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, because like I said, there are some things that I put out that is exclusively only on YouTube or whatever. And so like I said, like 95% of everything I do is on both. Just to extend the reach or whatever, because it's so random how, one podcast episode or one manga review or whatever, it'll do super awesome on YouTube, but then a few listens on Spotify or streaming or audio only, And then the next week or the next thing, oh, this review blew up on audio only, but only got a few views on YouTube. So all this stuff is weird. I don't know, but it's like I'm just kind of here for the ride, here for the fun. And that last little bit of housekeeping, or not housekeeping, but I want to give an awesome shout out to friend of the show, Phoenix, aka the Anime T. Let me get it pulled up because she just hit a super awesome milestone of 10K. Now, I've enjoyed Phoenix's work for a long time, as long as I've known her for the last couple of years and stuff. But she is very consistent and very good at what she does with these discussions. But the basically over the last month, it has been wild, literally watching in almost real time, because one of her episodes, let me see, one of her episodes, which one was it? Let's see. Yeah, the shoujo romance one. It picked up some steam recently because of, I don't know what the algorithm, I don't know why, but picked up some steam recently, whatever. And she had crossed over from 3 to 4K on YouTube. Then literally, and this is just so awesome to watch, she had put up a community post saying, hey, thank you so much for the support. We've made it to 4K. Literally in the time from when she typed up that community post and posted it, and then I saw it, she had already jumped up to 5K. And now it hasn't even been a full month. She's gone up. She went from 3 to 10 in less than a month, which is freaking fantastic to watch. So go support Phoenix, aka the Anime T. Like I said, lots of very dope discussions on a variety of series, and I love that we have similar tastes because she talks about a lot of series a lot of people don't talk about, or whatever, because she touched on Bocchi the Rock and Kami Can't Communicate and different things like that. So Dance Still, and so many more. But anyway, shout out to Phoenix. Now let's dive in to Anime Frontier. So I gotta say shout out again to Hub Taku and Worst Generation Podcast for giving me the opportunity to win a pass to the show. And so it is kind of wild to kind of like look back and think how fortunate I have been this year, to where the last 3 conventions I went to, so starting with Fan Expo Dallas in June, DreamCon in July, and now Anime Frontier in December, that I didn't have to come out of pocket to go to these conventions and stuff. It was like a Fan Expo Dallas. They reached out to me for me to do a panel, and once again, if y'all have never watched that episode, or seen that panel, go check it out. So I did a podcast episode about Fan Expo, but I also did a panel with Steve from Inside the Mind of a Blurred, which I'm gonna talk about his crew in a minute, and Sine from Blanime. We did a panel together at Fan Expo, so that was super fun and super awesome. Friend of the show, Key, she got me into DreamCon, so that was super dope getting to have that experience. It's meet a lot of y'all and stuff. Go check out that episode as well. And now here we are with Anime Frontier. And so the biggest thing for me that I was looking forward to with Anime Frontier was a very special guest that they had there. When I found out that he was coming, I was like, oh yeah, I need to figure this out. And that is Mr. Johnny Young Bosch, who, if somehow maybe you're a new anime fan or you just not too familiar with voice actors and stuff, whatever, he is my all-time favorite voice actor for a multitude of reasons. But y'all know he got to start off back in the day on Power Rangers before he made his transition to voice acting with the character that I named my son after. Vash the Stampede was his very first voice acting role. And then, of course, since then, he is Ichigo in Bleach, Lelouch from Code Geass. He's a Yatora from Blue Period, and so many other iconic characters over the years. And so he did a panel, and I got to go to it. Now, the panel was super dope. And honestly, it was just dope just getting to be in his presence and just hear the different stories and stuff like that, because I got to hear some cool stuff that I didn't know about him. Not saying that he hasn't talked about it in an interview and stuff, whatever. And also confirmation, which I think I might have known this, whatever, but also I guess just like getting reaffirmed that he's also a dad himself. So that's another cool connection and stuff. And if I didn't mention it already, we also share the same birthday, January 6th. So it's like the stars align in so many ways to why I love him and his work. But one of the dope things somebody had asked him when it was time for like questions and answers, somebody had asked him to make a Power Rangers crew of characters that he has voiced. And so let me see. I had wrote down, I thought. Yes. So his 5 that he said that he would do to have on his Power Rangers from his characters he's voiced. Lelouch from Code Geass, Ichigo from Bleach, Vash from Trigun, Noragami, I think that's from Persona, and then Sabo from One Piece. And then I think he said if he had to have like a 6th Ranger, I think one of the people he said was Genryu from Demon Slayer. So that was a very fun and dope question. Somebody, so they had, of course, because they ran out of time, they had to cut off whatever. And speaking of Demon Slayer, the very last person that got to ask him a question, this was so odd, but. And speaking of Demon Slayer, this dude was dressed up in like a Demon Slayer outfit or whatever, which looks super dope. But this guy, first of all, he had a question with him in relation to like the Power Rangers and the Sentai stuff, whatever. Because he was like, first of all, Mr. Bosch, I have never listened to any of your stuff. And then Johnny was like, this is the guy for the last question? Y'all got somebody who is like, oh yeah, I've never listened to any of your work, so the guy didn't say, but in fact, he was just like, I don't really know who you are, but I know you have a connection to Power Rangers and Sentai stuff. But anywho, so he was asking him questions about that. But somewhere within the panel or whatever, he had mentioned about, because somebody asked him about like tips and like getting to voice acting and stuff like that or whatever. And stuff like this is always interesting because especially with situations like this where Johnny's been in this game for like over 20 years at this point. And so things have changed so much, which I feel like that could be said for anybody in any role that they're in. Because heck, even people have asked me like, hey Rob, how did you get into IT, or how did you get at this job or whatever? And it's like, let me tell you a story. And so basically Johnny said he was working with, and like I said, forgive me if I'm butchering some of the details, but basically he was working with a company where something about how things were recorded, and that this was like a live action thing, whatever. How things were recorded, the audio or something, whatever, wasn't synced up, or whatever. So he had to dub over. So he had to dub his voice over whatever the project was, and somebody, one of the producers or somebody that was working on this thing, was like, "Huh, I like your voice. Um, I have this project I'm working on, this anime project I'm working on, that I think that you would be a good fit for. Would you like to try out for it?" And he did, and that was Trigun. So the stars aligned to where this random project thing he was doing, because he had to voice over the thing because of the technical limits at that time, the stars just freaking aligned to where the person that worked on that also had connections and was also working on freaking something in relation to Trigun. And that's how he got a start in the anime voice acting industry. And that is just so freaking wild. Just hearing that piece of the story. But yeah, so that was super dope. Though I am sad because the other big thing I was planning on doing, but I honestly took this as potentially a sign that now wasn't the time to do this. But my plan was to because he was there also doing autographs and signings and stuff, whatever. I wanted to go talk to him and get something signed. I wanted to get so some of y'all might remember, I had talked about before when Vash was born. I had this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But I had this onesie that a friend of mine had got for us back when Vash was born, and it was a Vash the Stampede onesie. Whoops, let me see. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Yes, so it was a Vash the Stampede baby onesie with the Vash glasses on it. I wanted to get him to sign this, and so that was like, hey, he's freaking in town, my favorite voice actor. And originally I was also wanting to try to take Vash there as well, but with, the COVID restrictions and stuff, whatever, I was like, you know what, just to be safe, I'll just still do this, whatever. Well, so, y'all know, Vash is 5 now. And over these last 5 years, or pretty much since he has outgrown that or whatever, that has just always been in my room. Like, I'm not even looking for it. It is always just there in my periphery or whatever. So tell me why now, after all these years when I actually need it for something or whatever, it is MIA. We can't find it nowhere. And I was like, you know what? I was very stressed. I was very sad because, like I said, I was like, this would be a very awesome memorabilia in a way, or memory thing of I got him to sign this. But we couldn't find it or whatever, and so I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign that this just isn't the time. And so I let it go. I didn't even bother going back to Fan Expo on Sunday. I only went on Saturday because I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Fingers crossed, the stars will align at another day, another time. Because honestly, while I would have loved that or whatever, the money would have cost, even though it's not super expensive or whatever, but like the money to get that autographed or whatever, I honestly probably needed it more for this upcoming trip. I'm about to go on with my my other son for the basketball stuff. So, but hopefully maybe someday, I'll get to actually meet Mr. Johnny Young Bosch again, or meet him one-on-one, so to speak, whatever, and get to have that moment. And hey, maybe then I'll actually get to have Vash with me as well. So, so I went to that panel. That was super dope. I went to the Crunchyroll panel, and there was just nothing there for me. I was excited because I'm like, oh, it's going to be big announcements or whatever, which in hindsight, I guess there was some announcements, But I think because like me, I'm so ingrained in all of this stuff, whatever, to where like every day I'm seeing, oh, this manga or whatever, anime announced or anime adaptation announced is coming out in spring, winter, whatever, da 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 da. I know all that stuff, whatever. But the news is that, oh, this show is going to be premiering on Crunchyroll. And so I was in the panel trying to live tweet. I was like, hey, I'm at the Crunchyroll panel, whatever. And so there was one thing, whatever, that they had posted at first, but I can't remember what it was. And I was like, okay, cool. That Revenger anime is coming out in January. And then I just stopped tweeting because I'm like, everything else I saw, I'm like, I've seen this before. I've already seen this, whatever. Now, granted, some of it, they might have had debut trailers at least, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. Because like I said, it all blurs together. I was like, have I already seen the trailer for this? Have I not? I don't know. But I was laughing because afterwards, because somebody was like, did they not announce something or whatever? And I was like, no. I was like, it's a bunch of stuff for our, that's already out there, whatever. So I ain't think it was something worthy, whatever. And then they had shared like a blog post or somebody was like, hey, Crunchyroll announces that they got the rights to stream da 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 da. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess that was the announcement. It was like, oh, all these anime that was already announced, we got them. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's that or whatever. But like I said, it wasn't nothing too crazy, whatever. Now I did get to. So next up, I got to go to something very fun and awesome, which was the Inside the Mind of a Blurred panel that they had. Now it wasn't the whole crew there. The whole crew wasn't there, but it was Bo and Cam, which are two of the founders of the pod, along with Steve, who has been on my show, my podcast, many times. Let me see. Let me get it pulled up. Hold on. But yeah, so I got to go to the Inside the Mind of a Blurred podcast. Homie Bo, Cam, and it was super fun. Actually, let me play. So y'all can see some clips of stuff from the panel and just stuff from the convention in general. But it was super dope. It was a super fun panel and stuff. I got to put in my 2 cents right there. That's me with the microphone. But it was very dope. Bo held it down until Cam showed up, and then started off talking about content creation and things like that, and then the second half of it was just a very fun discussion with the audience about, hey, like what's everybody watching and reading and different stuff like that or whatever. So when I had the microphone right here, that's because I had to correct somebody, because it was a dude, I don't know his name, but he was shout out, he was dressed up as Usopp from One Piece, cosplaying as Usopp, but which even this kid was like, bro, what are you talking about? The kid behind me in the Luffy cosplay, but so the dude, I can't remember how the topic got brought up, whatever, but basically he was talking about how like certain shows don't get new seasons, or the manga ain't coming out, da 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 da, and he was talking about Tokyo Revengers. And I thought I misheard him, because he was like, we ain't got no season 2 coming out yet, or announced yet. We haven't gotten the physical version of the manga over here yet. And there was some other point he made, and I'm like, and somebody else said that the manga's still going on or whatever. And I was like, hey, excuse me. And I was like, Bo, can't come over real quick. And I was like, just to clarify, I heard you right. You talking about Tokyo Revengers, right? And the dude was like, yeah. I was like, all right, first of all, Season 2 is coming out in January, so literally in a few weeks, season 2 is coming. And he's like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah. And he's like, second of all, we're already like on like the third omnibus for the manga already. I'm like, I just saw it in the store the other day. So we're already like 3 omnibuses deep. And then I'm like, and the other person I was like, as far as the manga, Tokyo Revengers manga ended a month ago. But yeah, so I had to get my little 2 cents in. But yeah, but the crowd was dope. I wish that I would have put in more effort into connecting with people after the panel and stuff, because like I said, it was a lot of dope people there. Some of which to where I was like, man, okay, because there was a point where Bo was like, hey, who all here is content creators? And it was a good chunk of people to raise their hands, myself included. And I was like, man, Robert, network. But you know, your boy will get it figured out someday. But and actually, there's something I'm gonna grab real quick. Okay, so yeah, so and as far as panels and stuff, that's all I went to was just the Johnny Young Bosch, the Crunchyroll, and then the Itmob panel, and that was it as far as panels for me. The rest of the time, I just kind of just wandered around and took pictures, took some video and stuff, and connected with some people. So first of all, I got to give a shout out because y'all know I love a family that cosplays together. Ah, shoot. Let me get this. Whoops, sorry, y'all. Let me get the whole family in here. Lord, let me fix this. So, yeah. So, this whole family did this very awesome One Piece cosplay. It has Zoro, young Luffy, Sanji, Mama Sanji, and Lady Chopper. So they all look super dope, super cool. And right in front of course, the Luffy statue was super dope. So shout out to them. Let me see. Whoops. And if y'all go on my Instagram, I have lots of these pictures and videos and stuff. But yeah, they had so many like dope figurines and stuff, whatever. I love they had like these cases. They had like a bunch of figures from like all from Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, One Piece, a bunch, and just so many other series and stuff too. But My Hero Academia, and all of these just look so freaking cool, so freaking dope. Now, people I got to connect with. So I ran into Jerry and his wife from My Waifu and Me YouTube channel, because they are also here in the DFW area, and it was funny like we just passed by each other, and just like off like his like side profile and the hair, I was like, and I turned around, I was like, is that what I think it is? And so I took a gamble because I was like, the hair and glasses look familiar, and then I was like, okay, I see a lady standing next to him too. Then I was like, Jerry, and he was like, huh? And so I was like, hey, what's up, man? And then, as most people are, I was like, not ringing bells, bro. He didn't say that, but I saw the confusion. I was like, Dad needs to talk. He was like, oh, what's up, man? And I love that for myself, that I am starting to get to a point to where, you know, I can say the podcast name and people are like, yo, yeah, I know you. And shout out to the homies at Grumpy Beard Podcast, because they are so the one with the glasses with the blue face mask, he was the first person I met at a convention, at my very first convention when I went to Anime Dallas last year. We were both at another panel for another podcast, and he had mentioned, or he had spoke up in the panel where they mentioned that he had a podcast, and so after he had finished his question, I was like, hey, can we talk afterwards? And we connected and stuff, whatever. And that's how I ended up finding out about the DFW Podcast Festival that happened like a few weeks later. So yeah, so it was cool getting to see him and to connect with him. And real quick, something I forgot to show off too. So each day they gave like a little goodie bag to like the first 1,000 people that came in or whatever. Well, Saturday they had these very dope blue lock drawstring backpacks with a bunch of other goodies and stuff in there. A couple of my favorites. I'm not gonna pull out every single thing, but these headbands, they had this Chainsaw Man headband thing that you put on, and this Anya one from Spy Family, which is just so very adorable with a double-sided face. So got those, and like I said, some other stuff there. There's a To Your Eternity little banner thing that's in there, and then this cup mat thing for this is an anime I'm actually excited about for the spring called Saving 80,000 Gold in Another World for My Retirement. This one's coming out in January. Reincarnated as a slime movie, this little card. This little inspector sticker magnet thing. Hell's Paradise little like postcard thing. The quintessential quintuplets movie. Which, speaking of this real quick, it is wild, even though I haven't read it, but I know that the vibe is different, that the same person who did this series of quintessential quintuplets is also doing the Ranger Reject, or as the English is called, the Go-Go Loser Ranger series, which I'm gonna talk about that in a moment, because that trailer for that was fire, super fire. But yeah, and then some little patches and stuff for Bungo Stray Dogs and Blue Lock. Now, sorry y'all. Transitioning back to people I got to meet. Actually, I need to confirm one other person. Okay, so I also got to meet Crystal from the Blurred Spot podcast, as well as a friend of the show who I've actually had on the podcast before last year, and it's funny, I met one of her companions from the Manga Brownies. I met T at DreamCon. Now I got to meet Issa from Manga Brownies. So it was super awesome to finally get to meet Issa in person. It was funny because I think I can't remember if I had posted something on my story or something, whatever, but she had hit me up and she was like, hey, are you still at Anime Frontier? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, hey, I'm here too. Let's link up, whatever, and hang out and meet or whatever. And we did. And so, like I said, that's where I met Issa and Chris at the same time, because they were both hanging out in the there's like a spot for like media and content creators and stuff, whatever. But one of the number one things, so long story short, so once me and Issa met or whatever, we talked, all three of us talked for a while. We met somebody else, which, forgive me, I don't have his card or remember his name, but it was another dope creator that I met there as well, or that we all three met. And I got to shout out to Issa, gave me one of their Manga Brownies bookmarks with the QR code on the back, and it's a magnet as well. So very dope. I love this. I'm about to try to give me something like that. But pretty much we instantly bonded, because we talk all the time anyways on Instagram and stuff with me and Issa. But we walked around for a while. We saw lots of dope stuff. Just took in Artist Alley. I also got to meet Gigi. forgive me, it's the Gigi Murakami, because she was on Moody's podcast, which is Alt Art podcast, that they did her interview about her series. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Gigi Murakami, because she had a booth set up for her series, and so here she is here. But yeah, it was dope getting to see her work and stuff in person. And just like I said, just to make that connection and show that support to what Gigi is doing. But yeah, so me and Issa walked around for a long time. We saw lots of cool, cute things. Spent some money on some stuff, whatever. But we both was helping each other take pictures and stuff. This was like a very dope area. So this wall, they made. Let me go back to it. They made cereal themed box art out of different anime and gaming stuff, whatever. Which was just very cute and cool to see. But yeah, and that's the rest of the banners and stuff, whatever, for other big series and stuff coming in the future. Oh, duh! And I got to take this very awesome picture, because so at the very front of like the artist alley or whatever, they had, like I showed you earlier, they had the Luffy statue, they had the Luffy, Naruto, and then they had the Spy Family one. Well, right when I was about to get Issa to take a picture of me in front of the Spy Family statues, literally two cosplayers who dressed up as Yor and Lloyd showed up, because they were also going to take some pictures, and I was like, perfect timing. Can I take a picture with y'all with the statue? And they were happy to do so. So that was very dope. And her cosplay name is Stepharoth _ cosplay on Instagram. So go check out her stuff, support her. But yeah, that was very dope. And one of my favorite things, one of the only things I really bought, me and Issa both bought these adorable Boji and Kage keychains from Ranking of Kings that are reversible, to where one side it has, them crying and stuff, whatever, as they're like hanging on for dear life. And then the other side, they are happy and smiling. And so that is just so cute and adorable. And I was like, I gotta get it. How could I see this and not buy it? But overall, Fan Expo was, oh Lord, Anime Frontier. Sorry, my brain is cooked. Anime Frontier was freaking dope and fun. Even though I only went the one day, the one day was enough, because I was there from 10 to like 6, which I'm still trying to learn my lessons and stuff, whatever, of do better on the eating and the food, y'all, because I did not. Because I messed around, because I thought, or I anticipated having some breakage in there to where, okay, I'm going to go get a snack or whatever. But I didn't. And the only thing I had that morning was a few boiled eggs, and that was it. And then I had my water with me all day, but it's like, yeah, going like 6 hours or whatever. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whole work shift off of 3 boiled eggs in the morning. So yeah, so don't be better than Robert. Don't do that, y'all. But yeah, overall, yeah, super fun event. Like I said, I'm super happy I got a chance to go. And this just kind of talking with Issa and some of the other creators and stuff, whatever there, it just kind of just reinvigorated of like, okay, I am on the correct path to make things happen, make these connections and stuff, whatever, because like I said, even though I have been fortunate enough to be able to get in free in general, whatever, I need to start applying for more actual press passes and and different stuff like that or whatever, because I've gone to now, what, let me see, this would be my fourth, I think, because I did Anime Dallas, Fan Expo, DreamCon, now Anime Frontier. Because I'm not really going to count like DFW Podcast Festival, because that was more like a smaller thing, but I did still cover and talk about it on the show or whatever. So, but because I definitely want to do more stuff there. I for sure would love to do do another panel and stuff somewhere, and to get more people in the area involved and stuff, whatever, like I did with Fan Expo with Steve and Sine. It's like, okay, hey, I want to get a panel, and okay, cool. Now let's get you and you in the mix, get y'all in the door, and so we all can go on this journey together. Um, but yeah, but good Lord, stop saying Fan Expo. Anime Frontier was super fun, super dope. So yeah. Um, so yeah, so I'll definitely be looking forward to hopefully coming again in the future. Now, I'm trying to think going from there. Yes. I wanted to briefly touch on let me see, this freaking cause y'all, man, I gotta, y'all not gonna be able to hear the sound, but, or maybe y'all can, cause I didn't have the audio going through my headphones like I thought I did. But let me see if I can get this pulled up, y'all. So, man, because the manga for this has been on my list to read for a little bit, but I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. But after watching this trailer and the music, man, yeah, I was like, okay, y'all got me, y'all got me sold, because this looks so freaking good. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. If y'all haven't, check out the trailer for Ranger Reject, aka Go Go Loser Ranger, cause it looks so freaking dope, and I'm like, yeah, I am here for it. I am ready for it. So, yeah, yeah. So looking forward to watching that whenever that comes out, but I'm definitely gonna have to hop on this manga. Um, no more procrastinating around. I need to get onto the manga and read that sometime soon. Now, I'm trying to think, cause man, it just been such a freaking ridiculously crazy week, as like I said, just like with normal life and family stuff, whatever. And then as we're trying to get ready for this freaking trip in a couple of days, um, I ain't got to touch God of War hardly any in the last week, which I'm very sad about. Um, uh, I caught back up on Bochi the Rock, which I loved. The newest episode, it was super fun. Uh, Gundam, which from Mercury still fun. Latest episodes of both. Oh man, Bleach, man, seeing Kenpachi versus Unohana, man, that just the way like the darkness and the shading and the serious look on Unohana's face that we had never seen before in the series. Um, it was just super freaking cool, super dope to see that fight. Um, and same thing with Chainsaw Man. It was super dope to see Makima, Squisharoo. Those guys and stuff, whatever. That stuff was dope to see. Um, I'm trying to think. What else? I'm almost fully caught up on more than a married couple, but not lovers. Because as granted, I have freaking really enjoyed listening to the English dub of it, but everybody's talking about it or whatever, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be because it's like 4 episodes or so behind. So I made the jump over to sub and pretty much caught up. I think I got to finish up episode 9, but that show is just so fun. It's just such a fun watch. Um, I'm trying to think what else. There's a few other shows. I still want to go and finish catching up on Raven of the Inner Palace. I think I made like a couple episodes behind on Do It Yourself, and a few other things because there's some stuff I want to kind of go back, not just from this season but also past seasons maybe, and kind of like wrap up some stuff before I kind of look into doing like some end of year reflections and stuff, whatever, on kind of making note of like some of my favorite stuff for the year. So I got some shows and stuff I want to kind of check out for that. So yeah, so that's it for anime stuff. Let me see. I do want to check out the last part of or finally dive back into Stone Ocean, JoJo's Part 6 Stone Ocean. Now that the final batch of those episodes are out, so I can kind of just finish watching all of that together. Aside from that, hopefully tomorrow or Thursday when y'all are listening to this, whatever, the Game Awards or that night, which, you know what, screw it, let's kind of, as Rob, as I like to do on this show, like to do stuff by the seat of our pants. So, not that it's gonna matter too much, whatever. But let's talk about some of this Game Award stuff. Or I'll save this for in a moment because I'm trying to think. Is there? Because honestly, even manga, I don't really have too much to really talk about. Yeah, because I read that new episode, the new chapter of the Ichinose Deadly Sins or whatever, and I went and listened to all of the review episodes and the discussions from the Weird. Sorry y'all if I'm butchering y'all name, but I think it's the Weird Science and Manga Podcast. I think it's their name. Because I want to get it right, because I like to show love to people in the community. Let me see. Weird. Sorry, y'all. Weird Science Manga and Anime Podcast. So they did some discussions about that manga, and they kind of brought up a point that I'm kind of feeling the same way too on, is that I think this series might be better in the long run as a binge read, because I came in on chapter 2, so I got to read 2 chapters back to back, and then I read the 3rd chapter and I was like, okay, those 3 were solid, but then this 4th chapter I was like, I don't think I can do this week to week. So we'll see how that one goes. What else did I read? One Piece, of course, was really solid, but I don't really have much to say about One Piece. I'm planning on maybe on this flight, I might catch up on because I'm behind on Jujutsu Kaisen, and I haven't read any of the new chapters for Hunter x Hunter. So maybe I'll do those. I'm behind on Undead Unluck. Behind on Mashal. Oh, I caught up on Akane Banashi. Now, I'm not going to super dive into it because I did do a full separate video on YouTube about that or whatever, which I might just link, but I'll just say that was a very awesome stretch of chapters because it was chapters 36 to 41. And I'll lose the section because basically those are the chapters that kind of wrapped up the like little mini arc where they were kind of like apprentices doing like the backstage prep and stuff, whatever. Well, because of the stunt that Akane had pulled at the end of chapter 35, she kind of got in some hot water with everybody within the Rakugo community or whatever. But along the way, she also discovered some stuff like, she doesn't know as many Rakugo stories as what she probably should. And she got to meet this very dope female master Rakugo person, which, like I said, I talk about all that stuff in length in that video, so go check that out. But yeah, so that was very dope. And I think that's it for manga stuff. I did start reading this little preview for you for the podcast peoples, but I did start reading Tali, Daughter of the Moon. So, and I'll just say I'm liking what I have read so far. So don't be surprised. Maybe you'll see a review for that soon. Maybe not. Who's to say? But yeah, so I'm gonna use these last few minutes because, like I said, I kind of want to just do something fun. So give me just a moment. Okay, so even though, of course, like all the stuff is grayed out or whatever, and voting and all that stuff is closed, or whatever, still, just want to just chat about some of my thoughts of just a few categories, or whatever. It's too many for me to go over all of them, whatever. But
can you come here and caught it on?
Sorry, family stuff. But so yeah, so like I said, I was like, you know what? I'll just give my quick little thoughts on some of these mini predictions. This will be fun for me. Maybe fun for some of y'all who might hear this before the award show. Maybe afterwards, y'all be like, oh, look how wrong Robert was. Now, we might as well just start off with the biggest one. Game of the year. So, the 6 choices are A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, for my personal taste, even though I haven't finished it yet, my personal taste would be more God of War Ragnarok. But I feel like it will and should go to Elden Ring. Just because of the fact of, even though I didn't play it, I still enjoyed being a observer of that game and of that community. Just, I don't know, just hearing how excited those people who love Souls games and stuff, whatever. Granted, like, hey, I played Bloodborne and stuff all the way. I love that one or whatever. And I've always just been interested in those different games and worlds and stuff, whatever. So all the streams I got to watch of that stuff, whatever, was super dope. So let me open up. Let me see what other. Let's see. Sorry, I'm like looking through some of these categories that I think I want to make a note of real quick. And some of these I don't really care about. Okay. So let's see what else we got. So I don't really care about, let's see, game direction, don't care. Narrative, Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Immortality. I've heard interesting things about Immortality, so maybe this is where that one will get a chance to shine, maybe, but God of War is pretty cool too. Best art direction. Now, what was it? Is one thing is like some of these games just like the same games each category, whatever. Maybe Elden Ring on that one. Best performance. So Ashley Burch for Horizon, Charlotte McBurney for Plague Tale, Christopher Judge for God of War, Manon Gage for Immortality, and Sunny Soljic for God of War. Okay, that's Lord Atreus. So, I don't know, because I haven't played a Plague Tale, but I've once again heard good things about Immortality, so maybe that would get that one. Let's see. Games for Impact, A Memoir Blue, Duskfall, Sinister Sleeper, Endling, Hindsight. I don't really know too much on those games to comment on that one. Let's see, Best Action Game, Bayonetta, Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, Ninja Turtles. I think this is going to go between Sifu and Neon White. I think. Best Action Adventure. I'm going to say Tunic for that one because Tunic is a very dope game that a lot of people aren't talking about enough. Best Indie. Ooh, Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, Tunic. I think Cult of the Lamb needs to get this one. Yeah. Let me see. Is there any other? I don't think there's too many other ones that I care about to comment on. Yeah, nothing too much, whatever. I will say I am super hyped for. We're supposed to be getting the first trailer and look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor, cause Fallen Order was super dope, and so I hope that they take what they the foundation from Fallen Order and build upon it for Survivor. That'll be super dope. If they can do that or whatever, and it looks like that one's gonna be coming out in March of next year from some leaks and stuff, whatever that happened. But anyway, I'm excited and I'm curious to check out the show. We're gonna be doing a lot of running around tomorrow night or Thursday night in preparation for this flight and this trip or whatever. But hopefully, because that's 7:30 Eastern. I might be cutting it close, whatever. But either way, if I can't watch it all live or whatever, I'll still go back and check it out. But I'm excited to just see what new stuff gets announced or whatever, and see who wins what and what corners of the internet will get mad because their favorites did not win. But I think that might be it for me, to be honest. Cause like I said, I am tired and I got a busy next 4 or so days ahead of me. So sorry, I'm just trying to do one last look around to see if there's anything of note. Let me take one last peek. Okay, so real quick, actually, so two spoiler anime moments I need to talk about or whatever. Of course, timestamps or whatever. But so going back to Gundam Witch from Mercury. So in this most recent episode, they had to do a team battle. And I love a good clutch come through moment. So the other team, they thought that they had dominated, got everybody down or whatever, and it was just them against Suletta, and they had her cornered. Well, got too happy and whatever, and from across the map, sniper shot, took out the main guy's like little antenna thing, whatever, and they won. Now he has to leave Suletta them and their company alone. That moment I love so much because I just love stuff like that in general, where it's like, hey, long range, just like unexpected sniper shot or whatever, just yeah. And I love the shot of like everybody kind of coming together with their damaged mechs, helping to prop up the one for the sniper shot. So that was super dope. And then of course, I gotta talk about, because I completely almost forgot, To Your Eternity. So this most recent episode, man. Mr. Tasty Peach went out like a G. Real talk, because man, this whole thing, just cause they were in them cages for like I think like weeks, for sure, like several days, like I said, if not weeks. But seeing his resolve at the end of being like, you know what, I'm gonna step up in this situation or whatever. Even though, yeah, Fushi can come and bust me out or whatever. But I'm not gonna do that or whatever. I'm gonna let Fushi take the young boy and Toto and get out of here. and then he's just gonna go on. But in a way, though, he will now forever be with Fushi on this journey. And I wonder like how his ability is gonna play into things with Fushi, because now, as we saw with Tanari when she died, she had purposely built up her body to be resistant to all these poisons and stuff for Fushi. And so now with Bone having this ability to see ghosts and stuff, how is that gonna play out or whatever? But yeah, man, just seeing him just stand his ground and just be like, no, that this is it for me or whatever. Sucks to see, man. But shout out to him. Shout out to the voice actor, who, like I mentioned before, is the same voice actor as Dio from JoJo. But yeah, he was just such a fascinating character because he was so quirky and stuff. But he was so much more than meets the eye. Because like I said, just like learning, like okay, wait, this guy's very perceptive and stuff. And then also learning that, oh, this dude can freaking see ghosts. He's not tripping. He's not having a mental disorder or whatever where he's talking to himself, whatever. It's like, no, he legit sees ghosts and stuff there, whatever that he is talking to right now. So, but yeah, but I think with that, I think that's gonna be it. Like I said, this is already going on longer than I planned. But like I said, I will see y'all when I see y'all. Like I said, not counting any reviews and stuff that I might do, because those are smaller things I can kind of just, read a volume or two or whatever, put that together, and that's that. But as far as like the main podcast episodes, this we'll see. I'm not gonna speak on it too much or whatever. But like I said, just going forward, at least for the foreseeable future, it's just gonna be a play by ear and just how I feel each week, because I know in the past I kind of got on a routine of like, hey, every Wednesday, but I was literally so freaking doggone tired yesterday to where I just couldn't do anything. And it was like, know what, Robert, once again, it's like, especially because my life right now isn't dependent on me putting out content and stuff. I am doing this because I love doing this, but I also don't need to stress and worry myself because, like, man, I wish I could have got the episode out today. It is what it is. They'll come out when they come out. But there will come a day and time, or there will hopefully be a point to where things kind of get in cruise control again, to where stuff can be on a regular schedule. But until then, we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna have some dope conversations, and like I said, I have some things that I am working on that I hope that I get to show to y'all in the coming weeks. But until next time, thank y'all so much for watching and or listening. If you're not already, like I mentioned up top, make sure to follow me. You can find me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. That is Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. But I am most active on Twitter. You can also make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see me and all my dopeness. And it will be very much appreciated and very helpful to my future growth. And yeah, and hey, who knows? Maybe I'll even get the wheel spinning back up on this Patreon page. But we'll see. That's all stuff for another day. I'm rambling now, but I love y'all so much. And as I always say, treat yourself to something nice. Read some manga, watch some anime, play some. Where's the controller? Play some video games, and live your best life. And with that, I'm out. Mr. International, Mr. Travel Dad. Coming soon. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.